Contract affair of getting paid until the day I die. Money coming in, but not one at bat, not one pitch, and not one strike. Being deferred is where it's at. Deferred.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Podcast Name Deferred. I'm your host, Seven. We are a part of the Wider Wire Sports Network. I have a great group of people that are going to be talking baseball with us tonight. First, I do want to give a shout out to our listeners on Spotify. We appreciate your support, even if you can't make it live. And for those of you watching live or after on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, I appreciate you as well. Make sure to let us know you're here in the comments and throw out any baseball-related questions. We'll get to them during or at the end of the show as we have time. First on, let me introduce my supporting cast that makes this show watchable. First, my right hand and the co-host who makes me feel like I have some kind of idea what I'm doing. He is the reason the Playboy Mansion was not built in the city by the Bay, because Hugh Hefner didn't want competition. We've got Craig Newton back with us. Glad
Good evening.
And we also have a guy with this that's been so helpful in me keeping things moving, because he's here every week, and I ask him to be, and he does a lot for me. Ando, welcome in, sir.
Thank you. I am expecting my 5 cent royalty check to come in at some point soon. So whenever you're ready,
you are
to send
not
that
getting
out,
that much of a raise.
5 cent, bro. That's not even enough for a burrito, bro.
Erica and Dan should be joining us shortly, but we're going to go ahead and get started without them. We're so glad that you are here. Like I said, sound off in the comments if you got questions. We appreciate you. Why is it all the way down there? Okay. Tonight, as we start off, we're going to be in the Windy City for a bit. First, the Cubs announced yesterday that Jamison Talion will be going on the IL and will not be back before the All-Star break due to a left hamstring strain. He is the fourth Cubs starting pitcher to go on the IL, with Matthew Boyd, Justin Steele, and Cade Horton already on the list. They also have 4 relief pitchers and first base Tyler Austin on the IL. Clearly, the Cubs have caught the injury bug that plagued Atlanta last season. Craig, I want to start with you. Man, I'm so glad you're back. Oh, I miss talking baseball.
Me too.
Craig, can the Cubs survive the onslaught of injuries? And what do they need to do to avoid missing the postseason, despite, the potential that they have on that roster and the high expectations that everybody had for them?
Well, you know me, I did a lot of research on this, and it comes down to, after all the hours of research I did, no more injuries. And yes, they can make it. They have a very small margin, no more injuries. So.
What? Why is this not working? It's.
Can you hear me?
I agree. That wasn't your fault. That was my fault. That's the button I needed. There we go. Okay, continue. I apologize.
So, no more injuries. That's the thing. The plus for the Cubs is they've got the 3 still healthy. Armstrong, Bush, and Shota. If those guys go down, it's sayonara for the Cubs. But they need to. The ownership needs to be paying attention and going out and getting at least 1 starting pitcher, and I don't see 2 more bullpen relievers, late inning relievers, to shore up that bullpen. And the Cubs should be able to make it with no problem.
You got to not stay injured, and that definitely reminds me of what Atlanta dealt with last year. And Ando, I'm gonna ask you this. Where did this go? There it is. My thing is moving all crazy. We're going to move to the Cubs, little brother on the south side. Last night, White Sox rookie Braden Montgomery hit a 2-1 walk-off shot in his MLB debut, making him just the 5th player since 1900 to do that. In his first major league game, he got his first MLB hit, RBI, home run, extra base hit, walk-off and walk-off hit, or walk-off hit and walk-off home run. Sorry, there's a list here. The White Sox, though, as a team, are doing pretty amazing things. Last year on this date, the White Sox were 23-44. Going into today, they're 35-31. Ando, have you seen enough out of the White Sox to show that they're a true contender this season and can make a postseason run, or you do expect them to fizzle out? And why? Why? What do you?
So, first things first, yes. If the rest of the AL Central doesn't do anything to fix the problem, the White Sox are going to take it by default. Sure, over their last 10 games, they're 5-5 in their last 10. A lot of those games, especially early on in that 5 game or in the last 10, 3 against the Tigers, all were wins. So that's 3 games that they have up on the Tigers. And then they finished the series against the Twins, losing the series 1-2. One of those games, they did get an 8-0 win. And then they lost in a really tough series against the Phillies, 2-1. But those games were closer than a lot of people expected. 8-6, 6-3, which is the game that they won in Philadelphia, and then 9-5. They beat the Major League best team in the Braves yesterday, 6-5, and are currently beating them right now, 2-1 in the bottom of the 8th with a runner on second. So yeah, I mean, if it's sustainable, I think everybody outside of the south side of Chicago will tell you no, honestly speaking. But Cleveland has lost their last 4. Minnesota has lost their last 3. And while Minnesota did beat the series against Chicago, you got to go back earlier in the week when they had a 4-game series against Chicago in the South Side, and Chicago took that 3-1. So even though the Twins, who are 6 games back, 7.5, or no, they're 6 games back. They're 6 games back of Chicago and Cleveland. Minnesota isn't doing themselves any favors to get back into it. And I know a lot of people pegged Minnesota as a growing team. They put Chicago down in the cellar. Chicago's making plays when they need to. Their bats are coming alive. I would like to see a little bit more out of their pitching. I think Braden Montgomery, an amazing, amazing debut. I think anybody would be tickled to have a debut like that. He's probably going to have a coming down to earth moment. I would say in the next week or two, judging by who the White Sox have coming up here. They have the rest of their series against Atlanta. Then they got to take on the Dodgers at home. And then they take on New York, the Yankees, in a 3-game series. And then the Tigers, the Indians, and the Royals coming up after that. So they're getting wins, which is great. But you need to sustain it. More importantly, you need to show against the good teams that you can stay competitive. Am I expecting them to win any of the series against the Braves, Dodgers, and Yankees? No. But if they can take a game or 2 out of any of those series, I think it shows that the White Sox are more competitive than they were last year. You're muted, 7.
You know, I was just looking at that schedule, and that is a gauntlet. And you look at that, the tail end of what you were talking about, that's 9 straight division games.
Yep.
I think that this is going to be when we're going to find out if the White Sox are something, because that is an absolute gauntlet that they have to go through. And, you know, Braden's going to have that come down moment. I mean, he had the moment we all dreamed about as kids when we were playing baseball. We wanted to be that moment, the walk off right in our debut. Everything's on us and we take it home. We're facing an amazing team. Like this, that's the dream. That's the literal dream that we all have. I know that tonight, if I remember correctly, I know earlier today, was it Bryce Eldridge got his first walk-off? It was a walk-off,
yep.
Correctly. I was just seeing some alerts about that earlier. Like, this is what we dream. This is stuff that we dream about as kids. And so, like to that, I say congratulations, Brandon. But this White Sox team and how they're built, this gauntlet will be the test. And I don't like down on teams, and I know that Craig and I have friends that are connected to the White Sox, and we've been fortunate enough to pick up some fans of the White Sox that have joined us. And even a former White Sox player's son has been on the show. It was 2 years ago we had him on, Michael, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Yeah.
And an amazing dude, firefighter down in Southern Arizona now. Just a great dude. But that team, I think they're going to fizzle out. And I don't mean it like they're going to be the Rockies. They're going to go back to the Stellar type way. But I don't know that they can sustain this long term, especially when you're going to deal with gauntlets like that and you have a team that's not quite proven. I feel like there is there's going to be a coming down the road moment for that entire team. Now, before we move on to our next, I do want you to introduce this. She just arrived. She is our softball expert because none of the lesbians I know were willing to join us. Give it up for Eric.
You're such an asshole. Such an asshole.
Hey, Erica, it's good to have your beauty back on the show. If he won't say it, I will. It's good to have your beauty back.
In my defense,
I will.
sitting on that
Someone
joke
think
all
my
day.
sweet's not.
I will say this. I do see that fan blowing around in the background, so keep your bullshit to a minimum or it will spread across the room.
Come on now, you know me. You know me better than that. I don't do anything but bring the bullshit. That's why I'm here.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
So before we move on to the next topic, Eric, I know you kind of came in while we were talking about the White Sox. Any thoughts on their success this season and if it's sustainable?
The fact that they actually have success is shocking.
Your stuff was
Well said. I love it.
internet.
I love it. I love the confidence, Erica.
Like, it's the White Sox. They're the
My stuff.
trash of the MLB. Like, come on.
It's doing this.
I would say they're doing better than the Royals at this point. So I did look into I could talk today. I did do a little bit of research into that. The White Sox are the only team right
They
now.
are.
The White Sox are the only team in the Central right now that have a positive run differential. Granted, it's only 9 runs, but
That's positive.
it is. It absolutely is positive.
I mean,
Okay.
it's better than nothing.
It is.
There we go. Okay. All right. Next, I want to move over. I want to move back over to the NL Central. The Brewers have stunned some people this year. They have continued to build effectively. Trade pieces are doing well, and their returning players continue to grow. Y'all know I'm a big fan of run differential as a team stat, and the Brewers going into today actually have the third best differential at plus 104 behind only Braves, who are second at plus 115. And, of course, Erica's Dodgers have the best run differential in baseball right now, 142. We also see the St. Louis Cardinals moving up the ranks in what many expected to be a rebuilding year for Oliver Marmol and company. Last year at this time, the Cardinals had a 36-31 record. This year, they're at 36-28 and 4 games back. They do have the first NL wildcard slot right now and hold a 3-game lead over the first team out. And so I'm going to ask all of you these questions, and I'll start with you, Craig. Do the Brewers maintain their lead in this division and take the NL Central?
Yes, they're the most balanced team in the game right now. They are just loaded. They are on a tear. Everything's firing on all the cylinders. I'll throw all the stupid adjectives out there. They're a good team, and they're going to stay a good team. And I see no reason for them other than the dreaded injuries biting them that they don't continue leading the way all the way to the end.
And then one other thing on the Cardinals, Craig. Can the Cardinals keep from falling apart this year and actually make the postseason and get closer to the standard of St. Louis baseball that we haven't really seen in a little while?
Yes, they can. The best news for the Cardinals is that old and young are new again. I mean, the old players and new players, they're gelling. It's a team that is very well in sync, and the pitching is following. In fact, actually, the pitching, you talk to the so-called experts, beginning of the season, the pitching was looking at that strong. So their pitching is surprising a lot of people. This way into the season. So yeah, the Cardinals, I think, have a good shot at taking the wild card, taking a wild card spot. No question about it. Again,
But they always
stay away from
fall
the injuries.
apart.
I don't think so this year. I don't think so.
Exactly. That's literally what I was just saying, Craig. Like, they always fall apart, whether it's injury or what. Like, they're always falling apart.
Are we talking about the Brewers or the Cardinals?
Cardinals.
Cards.
Yeah. No, I think the Cardinals are going to take wild card spot.
I was going to say, I think it's the division. It's the Brewers' division to lose. I think based on I'm going to say higher than expectations that they set last year, right? They made it to the NLCS, lost to the Dodgers in 5 games, if I remember right. I think they made it competitive in 1 game. But the Brewers have that experience. I think where the Cardinals are going to struggle is down the stretch. Let's say, late July, middle of August, especially I would say like the last 2 weeks of August and all of September, is if they're still in the running for that division and they're still leading that wild card spot, how is that young team going to handle it? Are they going to be like, hey, it's just another day of baseball. Let's go out there and play the game that we love. Or are they going to be like, oh my God, guys, oh my God, we're here. Let's. And then the team that they are is not the team that put them in that position. It's one of the things that I really like about the Cardinals manager. I think he will do what they can to keep them in that position. Got to remember that this was a Cardinals team last year that wasn't in that position late in the season. So it wasn't really anything that was like, oh, keep going at it. The games didn't matter at the end of the year for them. But I think with them playing essentially with house money, Pirates are right on their tail, 2.5 games back. If the Cubs don't fix what they got going on, like, uh-oh. And then, of course, the Reds are going to be the Reds and be the only team in the NL Central that doesn't have a winning record. So I like the Cardinals. I think they're a wild card team. I don't think the Brewers are going to give up the division. I think the Cardinals will take the first or second wild card.
Yep.
I mean, I definitely agree with you, Ando. It definitely is the Brewers to lose. But unfortunately, like, back to the Cards, like, we keep seeing the same thing over and over, and they're crumbling. They keep crumbling.
Yeah.
Like, they go strong, they crumble. Go strong, crumble. And they're at a point where they do have that potential. But I'm sorry, Cards fans. I definitely see them crumbling. I see it happening again. Like, because that's what keeps happening.
So keep in mind, over the last 10 games, the Cardinals are one of the better teams in baseball. They're 7-3 out of their last 10 with, let me double check. They did beat the Mets today 9-2. So they're 7-3 in their last 10. Only, and I'm going to do just the NL, only the Braves, the Phillies, the Marlins, and the Brewers have an equal last 10. And they're all 7-3. Even the Dodgers in their last 10 are 6-4. Of course, the Dodgers took the loss today to the Pirates.
Yeah, 9-8.
Yeah,
9-8.
So I will rub that in. Only because it's the first time you've graced us with your presence.
Hold on. They didn't just lose to the Pirates. Shohei was the starting pitcher for the Dodgers today.
That's a shame. That's a shame. Gosh darn, that's a shame.
Erica picked today to show up.
Where's my violin again? Oh, yeah, it's right here. Oh, yeah. There it is. They had turned it up.
I mean,
and then
let's just be honest. Hold on a second, Craig. Craig, you haven't been here for a while either, so I get to bust your balls too. You're only running
I've been
around
listening to
because
shows,
now
though.
the Giants are doing something. Shut up.
Hey, at least the Giants won today. They won 11-10, so they got that over the Dodgers today.
Side note, I still have a lot of faith in Vitello. I really see Vitello doing something. So in as gross as it sounds, there is a part of me that wants to see you guys do good.
I'm sorry, the Giants weren't on
because of
our call sheet today for the show. So Moving on from the Giants.
It's all right. You guys still got more publicity than the Mariners today, so that's all good.
Okay, so before we move on from the Giants, because I am going to allow this to be inserted, I saw a friend of mine that's a Giants fan, Evan. We're going to try and get him on the show soon. In the last 30 days, he sent me this. In the last 30 days, the Giants
don't put that asshole on here.
First in batting average, first in slug, first in OPS, and first in hits. They went 11-17 in that stretch. That's like seeing that, because like I knew that the hitting was fine, because there's a lot of terrific bats on that team, and the Giants are going to hate. Giants fans are going to hate when Luis Arias gets traded within the next month. But that's I mean, just shocking. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and move on now. And
Craig's face the whole time.
Hey.
Can we just say at least the Giants are still getting some recognition? What about the Mariners? Like, we're just sweeping over the Mariners like the Orioles did today? Because
we always sweep over the Mariners. Why would anything be different now?
Hold on. I got to say this because, Erica, you haven't been here for forever. She actually called my team correctly. She didn't call them the Marlins this time around. So thank you, Erica.
That is progress. Okay.
It is.
All right. So next, we're going to move into the CBA negotiations. We've kind of touched on this a little bit each week because the information kind of trickles out. For those of you who might not know, the current CBA agreement, collective bargaining agreement between the players and the players union and the owners expires December 1st. A lockout is expected as the owners are trying again for a salary cap in Major League Baseball. The last time the owners tried for a cap was in like 94, 95 that led to the strike and the cancellation of the World Series that year that actually had a lot of ripple effects in baseball. Do some research on what that affected, and you'll be surprised at the information that you find out. There was an article put out on ESPN written by Jeff Passan that featured insiders for the other three major sports that broke down the comparison of the salary cap system the MLB proposed versus what exists in the other major sports. The MLB insisted they did studies and that this system benefits both sides. The MLB Players Union said players stand to lose a collective $500 million in salary, and it's the worst salary cap in existence if it were to be passed as it was presented. So I'll start with this, and I just want a short answer from each of you after reading that article. And Ando, I'm going to start with you. Do you agree with the players or the owners?
I'm always going to agree with the players, man. I think the owners. The short answer, I think the owners are, I don't want to say grubby. I think that's a really dirty word. But they're always looking to have their hand in the pot. They're like the evil version of Scrooge McDuck. That's how they all have money pits in their basement. And they all go diving. Like every single night, they bathe in their coins. They have liquid shampoo that comes out in the form of money. Like, it's dumb. Why I'm broadcasting that on a podcast, I have no idea. That just tells you how messed up my thoughts are. But I will always agree with the players. The players, there was a video that I was watching on YouTube when Kevin Garnett signed his $121 million contract in 2001 that he helped build Minnesota for the owner, Glenn Taylor, who bought the team for $9 billion. And the team sold, or he's looking to sell the team this year at north of $500 billion. You're not going to do that without having a team built around you or players who make it what it is. That's why I side with the players.
Craig, players or owners?
Owners. Fuck players. It's time for Major League Baseball to grow up and play hardball with the players because they just can't keep throwing the money out there. We the fans are getting fucked. Higher ticket prices, higher food prices, everything else. Put a ceiling on it. Slap it on their ass. And guess what, players and fans? The owners have got way more money. And they can wait them out. And so there's going to be a work stoppage unless the owners follow the path of the WNBA and continue negotiations while the season goes on. Kudos for WNBA for doing that. That was very smart. Will the owners be as smart? I doubt it. But the owners this time are not bending over and taking it up the ass. They're not going to do it. They've got more money. They got the time. The players are going to have to come to them and bend the knee.
Erica, what do you think?
I missed Craig. I missed Craig so much. I'm so sorry.
Just my thoughts.
And we have officially lost Erica, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of on both. I'm on the fence on both. I see both perspectives. I don't know. I'm with both.
7, you're the tiebreaker, sir. What do you think?
So I'm not, and as much as I'm a big supporter of the players, and I understand, like, from a player perspective, like, if you look at if you polled every league, every professional sports league, the NHL, the NFL and NBA, if you said, if we had snap our fingers and the salary cap is gone tomorrow, would you want that? Every player would say yes. Every single player. But I do think that there is value to a salary cap system. I do think, though, that the league is going about it wrong. And that's kind of going to go into our next question here. Change it. What are the changes that the owners could make that would give players reason to actually consider the cap and floor, that those two pieces there, the system behind it, we can look at everything is open for negotiation. The owners want a cap and floor. Are there things that the league could do that would give the players reason to buy into the idea? And Craig, you've got the most experience. I know you covered the last strike. What does the league need to do to put this in a situation where the players are going to stop and go, oh, okay, I get it now?
I see one thing that would appease the players, and that would be reset the free agency clock and add front load on the I'm sorry, not free agency, but the time served for a player. Reset that, and also up the starting salary for starting major league players. Those two would appease the players. But other than that, if I'm the owners, I'm not budging. I'm not moving. I mean, the owners been over last negotiation, and they're coming back pissed off. They're coming back with, we're not going to make that same mistake again. And they're going to hold fast. They got all the money. They got all these contracts from the television networks and the social media networks. So they got a ton of money. They can outweight the players. The players have one big thing going against them: time. Time for their playing, their activity, their active careers. It's finite, especially for players who've been in 6, 7, 8 years already. It's very finite. So I think the owners will wait them out. The senior players will put the pressure on the majority of the Players Association to settle and get a contract going so they can play. But the owners don't have to do a damn thing. They've got all the money, they got all the time, and they're not going to bend over this time. They're not going to do it.
Erica, what do you think?
I mean, listen, I'm on the fence. It's going to be a long, drawn-out answer, and you don't want that. Okay? So it's not happening.
No, you're good. What? Go ahead.
I don't know. Like, these players put their time and their effort into it. They spend all this time, like, developing and making these skills. Like, I don't know. It's just like, you're on a double-bladed sword. Like that's like there's too much that goes into it, and we don't have enough time to explain all of it. Like, but it's a double-bladed sword. You have these guys. Seven, you used to play baseball. Like, you guys put this time and this work in. I played softball. I played volleyball. Like any sport you play, you're putting this time and this effort and this energy, and you're learning and developing and this and that. And you're in those situations of sports that have the professional leagues, like they're working to get to that level. So like for them to be sitting in that level, like they deserve, but like at the same time, like I definitely understand from the owner perspective where it's like, y'all need to be putting this work in. Like y'all need to be doing something. Like we're not going to continue to pay you if you're not going to put the work in. So like it's a double-bladed sword. Like, I don't know. There's a lot. Just, I don't know. Like, again, you're just a double-bladed sword. That's all it is. It's simple.
Ando, what do you think, buddy?
So, I mean, I'm in agreement with Derek. I mean, it is a very fine situation that you run into. I mean, you don't really see it with the other three sports. In hockey, basketball, and football, you don't, because I think their salary caps work. Where baseball still runs on, I think the market kind of controls the value that you have for your team. Everybody is going to know that the Yankees make more money than the Brewers. It's New York and it's Milwaukee. I think anybody will choose New York over Milwaukee. But to Erica's point, the players are the one who are putting themselves at risk. They're the ones who, I'm going to assume, because I didn't play sports, 9, 10, 11 months out of the year, are keeping their bodies in top physical shape. They're the ones that are training. They're the ones who are putting themselves at risk, where one bad pitch by another guy, or not doing the right training regimen, or just being in the wrong place at the wrong time ends your career. The owners are not the ones who are going to be like, oh, well, our team is going to suffer now. They're going to be next man up. Let's put the next guy in. I'm going to continue to make my money, which is why I side with the players. I will say, listening to you guys' argument, I may not be so pro players as the negotiations go on, because you guys have really solid points, and I'm glad you guys kind of explain it, because it helps me understand from you guys' point of view.
So I want to say, go ahead, Greg.
2 points. This time around, social media is going to play in both the owners, i.e., their lawyers, their sound bites, and the players' sound bites are going to play favorably in communicating both sides' objectives. And the training is year round now. It's not just 9 months. They're training year round in football and in baseball. It's a full-time job now.
Listen, let's just be honest. You guys are all jealous of the Dodgers, and you guys are tired of having the Dodgers' names in your mouths, and you all just want this fucking salary cap. Fuck y'all.
Seven, can we mute the Dodgers fan, please?
Hey, nobody asked you.
Mute her,
Mariners
please.
fan.
Please. I will not ask for my 5-cent raise. Please.
Sorry, Erica, your time to talk has been deferred. So I want to say this. I think that
is horseshit.
I think that there are some things that need to be fixed. First of all, things that the league defines as revenue that should be excluded, or reasons to separate revenue that don't happen in other leagues. I think that those need to be more similar to what other sports do. And as we're talking about the money, if you look at we'll use the NBA as an example. I'm a big fan of their cap and floor system. First of all, the salary floor is 90% of the cap. So that means everybody makes more money. That flat out, everybody makes more money. And the players want that. So while the top guys aren't going to make $500 million in a contract, it's going to be $3 million. Those guys that are coming up, they're going to make a lot more money than they did coming, on that lower end. And so eventually it still ends up where if you're there for a long time, you're going to make about the same as you would have before. It's just a little bit more spread out. And the other thing is the cap needs to be softer like the NBA's cap. Because like ultimately, like instead of like, because like with what they had designed, it's definitely a hard cap like what the NFL has. And when you look at what the league is proposing is if you pivot to NBA style, and I think that the NBA does it right for their league for a reason, because you've got certain programs like the Lakers, like the Celtics, that just flat out have a lot more money. So they can give everybody a supermax contract and pay those extra taxes, and they're still going to be a very profitable business. Whereas a team like the Suns that doesn't have the same brand, that doesn't have the same financial backing, they're not going to do that, but they still have to be 90% of that floor. So everybody is still getting paid. And for me, that's a big deal because I think that that's long-term what they want. And then, but on that top end, when the Dodgers want to give Shohei a $700 million deal, okay, you're just paying those extra taxes because we know that deferred money's gone. That's the first thing out of these negotiations. It's gone. No more. Nobody's getting deferred money no more. Bobby Bonilla was a pioneer, and Shohei Ohtani is the reason it went down. Like that's how we'll look at the history of deferred money in Major League Baseball. But the way that they get it to where the players will agree is, first of all, big contracts and deferred money and all that's going on now doesn't impact it the same as it will in the future. These guys are grandfathered in because they're not going to accept anything that takes away money from them. And the second thing that you've got to do is you've got to just have that soft cap instead of a hard cap. So if Steve Cohen wants to spend $500 million a year in payroll, and the cap is $350, guess what? Steve Cohen's going to spend $500 million. He just has to pay extra in taxes to the league. Guess where all that money goes? Everybody. So in the end, it benefits everybody to have it like that versus a hard cap system where it really does make it harder for some of those guys on the lower end, some of those guys that are on the last 14 on the 40-man roster, and all of that are going to be that would lose out if you don't have that breathing room at the top for those teams that want to spend that extra money. So that's personally, I think that's where they have to go. I don't think a hard cap is going to work. And I think that the floor has to be a higher percentage. That those are those you go to the players and like, I would even say like 80 is reasonable. I think I was actually shocked that the NBA's was 90. I thought it was 80%. You set the cap at 250. And then you have your floor is 80% of that. I mean, that's
16.
200. That's still 200 million. You're making the A's, the Rockies, the D-backs,
Angels,
the Royals, all of these teams the Rays, all of these teams that haven't been spending now have to. And I think any salary floor, I think at this point, you're going to see everybody's payroll go up as far as those bottom tier teams. They don't have a choice. But I do think that they need to, that's how they're going to bait the players. You figure out a formula for grandfathered in contract that exists right now above a certain amount. Because like, and you could almost call it the Dodger rule. Because it's the Dodgers have most of those contracts that are going to fall into that need. And here's the thing, it's not just Shohei. There's a pretty good chance that Mookie's contract would fall into that too. Like there is a list of players on that team. And we can't just and there's going to be a smattering throughout the rest of the league, like Soto and Judge and stuff like that are going to have those bigger deals that you allow them to impact differently. But owners also know in the future, we're not doing that anymore. So you've got to change your approach. And I think that would be the leveling field. That's what it would take. And the owners need to give in on the service time request to drop it from 6 years to 5 for free agency. There's no reason. That's give them that. Give it. I mean, and that's the thing is you say, okay, we're not bringing it back without a cap and floor. NBA's cap rules tailored to what, the differences that baseball that exist in baseball. Free agency at 5 instead of 6. And 80 to 90% for that floor. I guarantee you the players have to talk about it. They would have to. They would be stupid not to. They
definitely would. I mean, I agree. At what point though? Okay, so here's a question nobody's asked. I just wonder, we gonna see another lockout? Do you guys think we're heading for another lockout?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
It's totally guaranteed.
This lockout is going to be worse than last time. Like, this isn't gonna be okay. Well, we're just sweet. You guys are giving us what we want. No, this is going to be worse this time. How long are we just not how long are we not going to see baseball this time?
I wouldn't be surprised if we lose an entire season. Honestly.
I agree.
Really?
I hate to say it.
I agree.
To say it.
So
But that's where it's going to be.
Yeah.
what would be the only lockout that
I won't disagree. I could definitely see us losing a whole season of baseball over this entire situation.
The only lockout that I have any of knowledge of, obviously, is the 94-95 lockout, because that's the one that basically cost the final 4 months of the season. We didn't get a champion out of that. Have there been any lockouts since 95 that have jeopardized or ruined the season in any way, shape, or form? Because I can't.
Last time they started spring training late, they had to move some games around to be able to actually still get 162 in. So it was, because they didn't. If I remember correctly, they didn't sign the CBA until it was mid-March, if I remember right.
Something like that, yeah.
And how long ago was that?
4 years ago,
2-3 years ago. So
right
2,
after,
3, 4 years
right
ago.
after the COVID season, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was.
It was
because everybody was so riled up because we only had the short season and then we went right into a lockout. Yeah, that's exactly when it was.
Because I'm pretty sure that was about the time that Craig and I started the original version of the podcast and winter meetings, because we spent that entire lockout making jokes about Rob Manfred, and that's when
we did. Fuck Manfred.
Yes. Which is after the Dodgers payroll, our podcast name has been deferred until 2035. That is a tagline for our show. The second one is fuck Rob Manfred.
And so we're going to defer that to the same amount of time that the Mariners win a World Series, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
All right. Just one check.
Just like we're gonna defer my intro until then as well, because I'm never gonna get in this.
I just to tell you what, call your buddies with the Dodgers and have them pay for you to get put in the intro. They just buy it. They just buy it.
This is really seriously horse shit. I am over this shit.
Before we move on to the AUSL, I want to talk about one more thing. The Brewers announced a 7-year, $79 million extension with outfield prospect Luis Lora. We've started to see this more and more with prospects getting signed to deals that essentially make them cheaper as long as they perform for this deal. We've already seen some downside to this practice, though. Last year, the Red Sox signed Christian Campbell to an extension following a fantastic performance and Rookie of the Month in April of 2025, only for him to drop off and end up back in the minors by the end of June. My question to you guys is this, and Craig, I'll start with you. there's obviously some risk in extending a guy who hasn't seen a second of play time in the majors yet, or only very little. Is it really a good idea to sign such high-ring prospects to long-term deals early, or should teams be much more careful about this practice and not be doing it?
It's the stupidest idea that a team could come up with to sink their payroll, their draft picks, and pretty much stifle their progression for years to come by doing this. No, it's stupid. No. Play first, show me you can play, and we'll talk.
Honestly,
Yeah,
go ahead.
You sure? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. No, like at the end of the day, like this is part of the reason why, like it just from my perspective, like we're throwing all this money and we don't have money to spend money on players that are meaningful, so that like there aren't these issues with the players and the owners. There are so many things, again, like double-bladed sword, too many ways to go at this conversation. But this is a problem right there. Like this leads to these kinds of problems. Like this is why we're sitting where we're sitting. Again. Sorry.
No, you nailed it.
I don't disagree with you. Ando, what do you think, buddy?
I'm going to explain this as plainly as I possibly can by using dating terminologies. You're not going to go hook up with a voluptuous redhead, bang her, and be like, all right, cool, that's it. This is the woman of my dreams. Don't know her personality. Don't know what she's got hiding in the closet, right? You do your research, and you slowly get into it. And I got to agree with Craig, and I got to agree with Erica. It is a boneheaded decision by franchises who are putting. Oh Jesus! Do you guys see this? Do you guys see
I
this?
do. Hi.
Hey, Rob.
They say hello. No, I think it just long story short, I think it is a very boneheaded decision by franchises to do it. I mean, 1 out of every 100 you hit, that's great. The other 9 circumstances are the tale of putting your money in, putting your eggs in, counting your eggs up before they hatch. It is. I've always been firm of, look, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's go short. See how you perform. And if you're able to perform at the level you can, then we'll pay you. But you never hitch the wagon before the horse. You always pitch the horse.
Hey, I got one that's really good. Okay. So and it's against my own team, so I can say this, and I'm really excited to say it. I'm sorry.
I'm sure she is.
Listen, seriously. So not only are you spending this money on prospects, what the fuck is Shohei done with his arm? He's this two-way player. We've deferred so much money into him, and he's not producing. Again, another reason why we're about to be in this position. Keep your hand down. Nobody wants your hand.
I will. First off, you almost got me in trouble. No, I was going to say, maybe Shohei is deferring his talent until the postseason. Maybe. The Dodgers are so used to deferring everything that they just wait until the playoffs.
So what's the answer for your team then?
The Dodgers defer salary. The Mariners defer wins.
Hold on, guys. I got Craig to chuckle at a joke I made, and it made me really excited.
This is why we missed you, Erica.
I missed everybody too.
No, that's. I think we all have the same opinion. You can't pay a piece of poo to play like Diamond. Just
who Mr. Hanky is, right? He gets paid.
Take it over 7. Take it over 7.
For me, I understand the hope that you can lock him into a deal that's going to keep it cheaper. I understand in business there's risks. But I also believe that when you are going to give a 20-year-old an $80 million deal, or a 21-year-old an $80 million deal, it needs to be that they've shown that it's worth it. In the NFL, a first-round draft pick is a crapshoot. And their deals are still worth $30, $40 million. And you don't get anywhere near as much time as you get with baseball to see if that's actually going to pan out. I feel like if I feel like if the deals were more incentive based and you were adding extra bonus, adding extra amounts, okay, you get called up, here's a bonus. You stay up every 10 games, here's a bonus. Like incentives for service time, incentives for results. I'm a big fan of incentive-based contracts because it gives the player financial incentive to perform. And I like players that elect for incentive-based contracts. Like in the mid 2010s, David Ortiz changed his contract with the Red Sox to where it was incentive-based. He got paid more if he performed. It was David Ortiz. Of course he performed.
Yeah.
But they're so focused. The players, and this is the one thing that frustrates me about Major League Baseball contracts. Yes, 100% guaranteed contracts are great. You're getting that money whether you're injured or in the starting lineup or anything in between. However, I work in sales. I can pay my bills and be shit at my job. But if I am good at my job, not just great, good at my job, I'm all right. If I am great at my job, I'm going on vacation to see Craig next year, and we're going to get some Kobe beefsteaks. Like, I have incentive to perform. The NFL does it this way. The NHL does it this way. The NBA does it this way. This is my biggest gripe with guaranteed contracts. There has to be more incentive. And maybe this is one of the ways that they work on the salary cap is, hey, we're going to give you your regular salary guaranteed, and the bonuses only impact the salary cap. The service time bonuses impact the salary cap. Whereas if, the performance-based ones, like I'm going to give you $1 million every time you hit 5 home runs. You do something. You break a record in the league. You break something. You do something that's never been done by an individual player that's positive. We're going to give you bonuses for that.
I definitely think that would make it way, way better because at the end of the day, isn't that same concept? I know it's moving to a lower level, but same concept as a nil.
Yeah. You're right.
It's and like you said, the other sports have it. So why not do it? Like if you got it, hey, I want to be played more, or I want to be paid more money. Okay, then do something to get paid the more money. Give them the incentive. Like it may then a lockout isn't a potential to happen because then, well, why are you not getting more money? It's incentive, right? So what are you doing that needs to be correct?
It's and this is the thing that I think. Because, like, when players go through arbitration, when they're still in the rookie deals and they go through that 2 years of arbitration before they hit free agency, the teams during those meetings, for those of you that don't know, during those meetings, the teams basically completely roast and decimate what that player has done. All of the mistakes are front and center. All of them. Oh, you had 4 fielding errors last season. You had a defensive run saved that was below what the analytics say you should have hit. Like any little thing they can find to rip you down, they use. So that means all of these numbers, all of these metrics, all of these things already exist. So we can use that positive side. Juan Soto, you want to make $700 million over the next 10 years? Okay, great. You better hit 65 home runs a year. You hit 65 home runs a year, I'll make sure you get $700 million. You have a player hit 65 home runs for 10 straight years. Nobody's gonna have any problem with that player making $700 million in that time.
Yeah,
nobody's gonna question it.
No, like, well, not a single person. He deserves
the greatest home run hitter of all time.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. So that's why I really hope that they can find that way. I can understand some guaranteed money. I want to know for sure that I'm going to make $15 million a year playing catcher. But if I have, if I call a no hitter, you best believe I'm getting $1 million bonus.
Yeah.
If I'm hitting north of 250, you best believe I'm getting a bonus. Like those are all reasonable things you can set for a catcher that they can hit. And all of a sudden, I hit a whole bunch of metrics because I also sold 20 bases and I made $25 million last year.
While playing a certain amount of games.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And so it makes sense to me, but I don't know.
Dude,
I'm not a GM. I'm not a player. Go ahead, Greg.
I think it comes down to some simple words. On the player side, show me the money. On the ownership side, management side, it's show me the talent.
Oh, dude, no, that is perfectly said. That is perfectly said.
But it's also just like too easy. That's too easy, obviously, because again, look where we're heading.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, even as a fan that's going to be, I'm definitely more pro player than anything else. Even as somebody that's pro player, show me the talent is completely reasonable. This is a performance based. This is a performance based.
Absolutely.
It's your job. It's your job.
Yeah. That's the part that I sit on is I that's why I like incentive based contracts. But okay. All right, so we're gonna move on. We can't end our show without talking about the start of the AUSL season.
Yes,
the AUSL season started yesterday with the Blaze winning 4-1 versus the Cascade, the Spark destroying the Volts 13-5, and the Talons winning 5-2 versus the Bandits. Erica, what are some of the things that we can look forward to this season with the AUSL?
I think, oh my gosh, don't do that. That is no. That's so awkward. Don't do that. Put you guys back on. Tony, oh my gosh, I don't like that. That is so awkward. Don't ever do that to me again.
Tony, next week it's just going to be the Erica show. She's going to be on by herself.
You have me so red. Like, don't ever do that again. Oh my God. Wow, what did you ask, Tony? I totally forgot.
Stop. No,
what can we look forward to out of the AUSL season this year?
I mean, I think there's a lot to look forward to. We have two teams that got added, which was Spark, who just blew out of the water. Also just want to add opening day grand slam from the Spark. That was absolutely amazing. I mean, I think there's a lot to look forward to. I think to a degree, I am a little standoffish with MLB kind of being a part of the AUSL. Are we going to turn around and have maybe same problems over here? I really hope not. I don't think there will be, then again, a woman's running it. So I don't think we're going to have a problem. Also, Manfred, he's not in charge. So, he's just kind of got ties on it. But really excited. They're already talking about other expansions, other cities to expand to add more. There's a lot of rookies that just came in. Really excited. One of my favorites, she is from Tennessee, Carlin Pickens. She is a beast. She is amazing. Excited for her to be in there. You got Megan Grant, who she broke the NCAA single season home run record with 40 home runs. Last time it was done was by Espinosa, and I think it was 94. There was a hunt for that, but it was really nice. There was an OU player that was in it. OU got, shut out, but I'm really glad for Megan Grant. She did really good. She did phenomenal coming out of UCLA. Another one, kind of weird to not really be sure about her. Jari Canaday. She was a second pick, and she still hasn't signed a contract yet. So kind of, at least last I heard, she hasn't signed a contract yet. But I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm kind of up in the air with that one. But there's a lot to look forward to. It's a really short season still. But we're getting there. And so many more people should be into softball. It's so much entertainment. It's amazing. And it's amazing to see the progression that is definitely being made. And Tony's definitely looking something up.
I was. It's this is a growing professional league.
For sure.
You talked about the Spark and the Cascade are new to the AUSL this year, but I know, like you said, they're wanting to expand more, grow professional softball. What cities are they eyeing, and what kind of timeline are they looking at for the next round of expansion?
Yeah, so I'm not sure about timeline. I know they're looking to go into the Southeast. I know that Florida, Tennessee, and Alabama have all been talked about. Obviously, if they go to Florida, I mean, you got Gainesville, you got Orlando, you go to Tennessee, you got Knox, and you got Nashville. So, I mean, you have some good options. It might be kind of weird. I actually learned something today. One of the expansion possibilities could even be in Milwaukee, because the Brewers have actually individually invested into the AUSL. So I could definitely see Milwaukee getting the possibility of a team up there as well. I know Ohio has been talked about. And I also know that they have discussed, what was it? I want to say it was the Los Angeles or the Bay Area to give Portland and Utah, a rivalry on that side as well. So there's a lot of options for expansions. I hope they do it, because I mean, it could give a lot of opportunity to a lot of girls that work their butts off when they're in college. Same aspect as baseball.
Yeah. No, I like to see the expansion. I think that the sport is great. And I love that that MLB is following in NBA's footsteps and investing in the women's league. I think that's a positive showing. I think it's good for the product. I think it's good for Major League Baseball to have their money behind that. And I think
involve Manfred. I don't like it.
But it's also like for me, I like, because softball is the third highest grossing sport for the NCAA.
Yeah.
Like, the money is there.
Yeah.
And that's the part that people forget, is they look at basketball, they look at football, and then they completely forget that there's 24 other sports that play in the NCAA, and softball brings in more than all of them. Yeah. Women's softball actually brings in more than women's basketball.
Well, in 7, I don't know if you see Kyle's comment, and he's definitely right. I didn't really think of it from that aspect. He said it allows them to get established, and it really does, having the MLB back them. It helps it grow faster, develop faster, again, establish faster. So, I mean, it is an awesome opportunity, but it's just, come on, man, it's Manfred. I don't want to deal with him. Who wants to deal with him?
For me, I think it's less. I would say the involvement would be less on the actual league offices side and more on the owner's side. And honestly, that's what I want to see the owners involved. I genuinely, that's what I want to see. The league doesn't need to be involved. I mean, outside of just the public support of the initiative.
Yeah,
the league
agreed.
They got their own shit to deal with. Kim and G is a fantastic business mind, knows how to run a team. I've no doubt that everything so far with the league has gone well. So I think she's doing great as the commissioner. I don't think any of that needs to be messed with. But
no,
if you can get especially some of the more established owners. As much as I hate to say it, I can't remember his name, the guy that owns the Reds. He's been around baseball for a long time. Ken Kendricks, owner of the D-backs. I didn't realize this at first, but Ken Kendricks was actually, when the D-backs started, the primary owner was a guy named Jerry Colangelo. He was the owner of the Suns at the time. He also owned the Arizona Rattlers, and he had a stake in the Coyotes. In 2002, 2003, Ken Kendricks bought out the rest of the ownership and became the owner of the D-backs. But Ken's been around since the inception of the D-backs. minds like his, like the guy that runs Cincinnati and some of these more established and successful owners, yes, the owner of the Dodgers, they should be involved in this more. They should, honestly, they should be on like a board for the league. Not saying that you give them any real power, but they should be more directly involved because those are the minds that the league needs, at least in my opinion. Okay, and I want to ask one more thing. Dallas Escobedo McGee has come over from the Japan Diamond League to play with the AUSL on the talents. Is this a sign? Is this another good sign of the growth of potential of the AUSL? And do you think this happens more as the league grows?
Be stupid not to. And yeah, of course it's growth. I mean, it's same concept as Shohei, as this one, is that one. You know what I mean? Like it's the same concept. So why not? It just opens the door for way more opportunity. I mean, so come on, let's go.
Bigger talent pool to pull from.
Yeah.
Which there's a sizable talent pool for college softball. So don't get me wrong, but it opens it up even more. So
that just opens it up to a unlimited number of women that have the chance to continue to play. So I mean, great.
Well, and I think an advantage that doesn't get talked about with this, and because as I was researching her, and she's got an amazing talent. Like for those of you that are watching, if you are listening on Spotify, go on to YouTube and look at some clips of her. She's amazingly talented.
She's
having players involved that have already been in a legitimate professional softball league. That's huge. I feel like that's huge because they're coming in essentially as a veteran at this point because. I get it's a different league, but she played in the Diamond League for 7 years.
I think it was like 7 or 8 years. Yeah,
that's a sizable amount of experience. This isn't like Ichiro coming over when he was 19 or something like that. I mean, I think he was a little older than that, but like as an example, like there is if a player comes over that young, there's not as much experience, and professional baseball in Japan is honestly a very different game strategy wise than the Major League Baseball, but softball's a bit more uniform.
Yeah.
And so like for me, I think that it's a positive thing. There can be some really good insight there. So I definitely like it. Did you guys have any other questions about softball?
No, I was wondering what teams were involved, but I did go to their website. I love the locations that they got. I love that it's not region based. And I think expansion, if it doesn't happen next year like it did, like we've seen a couple teams growing in the WNBA based off of location. I think the AUSL will follow suit. One thing I do like, and I think Seven mentioned it, is when a more superior sport backs it up. So, for example, WNBA getting the backing from the NBA. I think it's amazing when they can do that. And I know you don't like Rob Manfred. I think he will have less to do with it than you really think. I think he'll just kind of sign off on checks, I think. So
I'm just being petty. You guys all say fuck him, and I decide to be petty, and now you're all gonna rip my ass over it. Fuck you guys.
You know what? Hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, fuck Rob Manfred. Fuck
That's the energy. Dude. That's the energy I need. Craig, I need it from you too. Come on.
The gentleman from California, was you recognized?
Hold on. So this is going to be Craig who says it. I would respectfully like to say fornicate Robert Manfred.
No, I have a question. Okay, so you have this league and you have this talent. Where's the PR? Because I'm not hearing nothing in Northern California. Nothing. Where's the PR?
No idea. Couldn't tell you. I don't work for the AUSL. I just like watching it.
Well, someone from the AUSL needs to answer up for that question because
no, for sure.
I'm not hearing nothing at all, and I'm interested.
I mean, and that doesn't help. Like just knowing that, like, how do you guys expect to expand the fan base and get more people into it and everything like that if there isn't any commercial showing, ad, billboard, whatever? If there's nothing being shown for it, then how do you get the interest in it? Like
I will say, like, if you go on to if you go on to the AUSL's website, which again you have to find it, and you look at the actual schedule for the games this season. a lot of the games are popping up either on ESPN, ESPNU, or the CBS Sports channel that you can we can watch through the CBS app, the CBS Sports app. So the fact that they have more games showing nationally, I think is fantastic. But Craig's right. They have to work on the marketing for this.
100%.
You I didn't know.
Advertising's everything to a degree,
especially in the especially in social media climate. You've got to get it out there.
And especially, I mean, literally, you've got to do something to get the word out. If you're looking into expanding into California, so we're gonna go. I mean, and this is just because of what you had said, Craig. So I mean, thank you for saying it. But if you're gonna look into expanding into California, why is there no marketing? Why is there no advertising? Why is there no this? Why is there no that? How do you expect to get people interested and involved and wanting to I don't know.
I think this league missed a huge golden fat right on the platter opportunity to what's the word? Darn it. The two teams that were fighting in the College World Series,
Texas and
the players that got drafted, the league missed a golden opportunity to follow up. Where did those players go? And by any chance, I'm hoping, did any of those players come together on the same team that hate each other? I mean, what happened? What happened with all the energy, all that angst and anger? Where'd it go?
The WNBA did that with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and it worked perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. You're 100%.
Yes.
And and talking about marketing in your guys' area, Utah and Portland have teams now. So what that means is you can market Portland to the northern part of California, and Utah, I believe it's the Talons, if I remember correctly.
Texas Talons. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Texas is the Volts. My bad.
Yeah, I say Texas is the Volts. It's the Utah Talons. You're right.
Yeah.
And market the Talons to the southern half of California, because when you look at let's say, and the big four major men's sports, they don't just market in their cities. They market regionally, and then they have sub markets. The Cowboys know when they go to a game in Arizona at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona against the Cardinals, that stadium is going to have more Cowboys fans than Cardinals fans. That's a secondary market for them. And they market the shit out of their merch in that city. So you have the ability to create some fans of these teams. Now, some of them, when they get a more regional team, they may pivot. Some of them won't. Those people are still going to go to games. The money that you're leaving on the table by not marketing it as a league, that I agree with Craig. That's the problem.
They could exploit those fights and that anger beautifully into the league. I mean, I want to follow. Where did those players go that hate each other? Where did they go? Any chance they're on the same team?
But can I be honest though? I'm not I don't know. Maybe I'm weird for this. I'm not all about your drawn out drama. I'm watching the sport to watch your talent and I'm not about the drama. So I actually kind of there's nothing like that to a point.
There's got to be a hook for me to watch women. I'm sorry to call me chauvinist right now. Haters, bring it on. You got to hook me. You got to give me a hook for me to follow this. I'm sorry. There's too much distractions from other sports for me to be invested fully into this new league. Give me a hook. Who's fighting? Who hates each other?
I agree.
Give me a hook.
I agree with Craig. I think the teams are good, but you need to have a foundation with those teams. And the example that I'll use is the Lakers and the Celtics, right? The Lakers and the Celtics were rivals even before the 80s. What built that Lakers and Celtics rivalry to the next level? It was Magic versus Bird. I think if you can get those people, and again, it's similar to what you guys were saying between Caitlin and Angel, right? The WNBA now has their first official, these people don't like each other, to market the sport. If nothing else, like, oh, cool, the Liberty are playing. No, I want to see Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese because those bitches go at each other, right? And I think that's.
I love how Ando was so scared to say that.
I'm trying to keep
He's
myself
like,
from going. Look, I'm trying to keep myself from going HR today. All right, I almost had a clean show, almost. But no, I think if you can get that not rapport, get the reputation of we're starting lead. I need 3 people who are the top gems in college. Build the league on them. The league is gonna form genuinely, right? If the fan interest is there, it's going to grow organically. But you need to have the players and the foundation to help it grow.
I mean, so okay, I kind of can understand what you're saying. Now, I don't think there needs to be drama with it, though. Let's be honest. Like, okay, you've got Najari Canaday, who is a phenomenal, outstanding pitcher. You have Carlin Pickens, who this girl does not throw under 74 miles an hour, and it's over every time. That's like what? I think they were saying 103 or something like that in baseball, maybe more. Mm-hmm. You've got the storylines. You have them, but like, the game isn't about the drama. It's about the game.
I'm going to say 3 words that one of my favorite wrestling personalities, Eric Bischoff, used to say. Controversy creates cash. If you can,
and you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So and to the wrestling point, but before we move on from this, I'm gonna make a point using wrestling because I think it's worth. So AEW was created as an alternative to performance, professional wrestling.
Yeah, sports entertainment wrestling. Okay, and with the AEW at its inception, it was more focused on what was going on in the ring than the story being told out of the ring, like the WWE does. Yep.
AEW struggled to grow as they got better at telling the story out of the ring. People were more interested because the stuff in the ring, which is really what wrestling is about. I want to see some guy get hit by a chair or whatever else happens. But that story before and after matters. Like, a lot of people think when guys are watching porn, they don't want to know if the plumber fixed the sink or not. They actually usually check.
Shut up, Seven.
I think that there has to be some kind of a story. And I'm going to agree with Craig on this. I understand because the people
Craig is fucking dying.
The people that just like you that just like to watch the players. The people like you that just like to watch the players. Is it going to be irritating that they're marketing the Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark in the WNBA if you're a WNBA fan? Yeah, but you're still going to be watching the game. You're still going to be going to games. Like, you're still interested in what they're doing because you like the product. The controversy is going to bring in new people that had no reason to think about watching it that they did before. And that's the part that's the value. And that's what he's talking about, because these feuds and these things with these players, are they on the same team or are they on separate teams? When are they going to play? Can we get this in a prime time slot? Like, those are things that fuel cash, that can expedite growth, expedite salaries. Like, there's true value in that.
And
that you're not going to get just watching the players.
And I'm not disagreeing by no means at all. I'm just not a person that's enticed by that. And it overshadows. It takes over the whole point of the game.
Not if you're a true fan of it. It just adds a layer. It's like an onion. It adds a layer.
I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like it takes away from the game. I'm not watching the game because of the drama. Like, does it make it build up and does it make it enticing when you know those people are going to play? Sure, of course. But like, I don't know. I guess I can't say that because like, if it's OU Texas, like, I know those are teams, like, but like, if it's OU Texas, like, I'm really into it. I'm really built up over it, but
Erica,
like, it's not a person. What?
As a fan of the Falcons, who's the team that you hate to play the most in the NFL? My point exactly, right?
What
There are
is
certain rivalries that you watch because of the history that you have with them,
so?
right? You're
But
more
hold on.
invested.
Can
That's
you
the
mute
word I'm gonna
him?
say. You're
I
more
don't want to
invested.
hear from him. Can you mute Ando? You fucking muted me when he asked. Mute his fucking ass.
So Kyle brings up an excellent point here, and I think this is where you have to be careful, because there is a lot of perspective that how much the Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark battle got talked about did dilute the product and distract from some of the other amazing players that are in the league. And you have people saying Caitlin Clark should be an MVP, completely ignoring all of the other amazing players that are doing much better as a player, because Caitlin Clark is still a young player. She hasn't really even hit her prime yet. Angel Reese hasn't hit her prime yet. And so many people are so focused on this feud that it's removing the vision from the product. And so I think that you have to find a way to allow the controversy to breed some interest without allowing it to dominate the brand. And go ahead, Greg.
Without Reese, without Clark, I'm not interested in the WNBA. I wouldn't have had the patience to follow the other players and watch their progress and watch them become stars. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to wait around, for a story to develop. I want the story already. I want to be able to follow that story. And that's just me. I mean, without Clark, without Reese, the WNBA is not where it is right now. It's not.
I agree.
It's doing fantastic.
You're 100% correct. That's why, and I support the idea of the story, but what I'm concerned about is when you over dilute the brand, when you over dilute that piece of it. Like my favorite storyline from the WWE back when I was younger was the first storyline that was actually kind of short, that led up to the iconic moment where The Undertaker throws Mankind off of the Hell in a Cell and through the table. That match is legendary. That match is legendary in sports entertainment wrestling. No, you still can't talk, Endo. Oh wait, I didn't mean to hit yours. I'm sorry.
I was like, I'm not even talking. Why did I get muted? I'm just sitting here.
Okay, now I'm mute her. She's mad.
But
Thank you. And all I was going to say is, by God, it killed him. By God, he killed him. He just threw him off the cell. That's a human being you're looking at.
Listen, I mean, and I'm sorry, I do have to kind of interject. I'm sorry. Like, it's listen, I'm not going to disagree with you to a like point, Craig. Like, I'm not like it brings entertainment, whatever. I'm not watching a sport though for the entertainment on that aspect. I'm watching it for the skills of the player. There were games that dildos were getting thrown on the court. Okay. What in the hell does that have to do with basketball? That took away from the players that are there.
I agree.
Skills to entertain. Yeah. So there's no, like, in my mind, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't see how the drama of it like helps build it because of that. Like the thing, like, I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
And I'm not saying you're wrong, Craig. Like, I respect what you're saying. I just like, I don't know. We just see differently on it.
I get what you're saying. And unfortunately, especially when it comes to women's sports, there's going to be bad people that just want to be part of the fun here, that just want to be a dick. And story or not, it's eventually going to happen. It's going to happen again. People are just going to wait a while and they're going to try again.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate thing that I think is just, it's going to be around women's sports for a while. I think that what happened was amplified because of the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese stuff, but I don't think it necessarily happened because me, Craig, and Ando can all confirm, having, spent any amount of time in locker rooms as we grew up, those kind of guys are going to show up at some point, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like it's an inevitability. So, but what you can bring in if you utilize that stuff correctly, and this is where I'm definitely I'm still with you on this. I don't want it a lot, but let's have it there as a thing that's going to draw it in, a reel about it on social media, stuff like that, to light the fire. But we're going to let the talent of these players, like that amazing, what was her name, Maya Johnson. She has an amazing story and what she's gone through to become a professional softball player. Beating lupus and everything else she's dealt with her health to get to this point. It's truly amazing. Those stories are going to be great, but drama breeds engagement. It's the truth of the modern world with any business, like anything, especially anything entertainment wise. Drama breeds engagement. But all right. Before we wrap up, let's take a look. We're going to go through chat. T3, Caitlin Clark is amazing. Angel Reese has improved and been all at WA this season. Yes, I agree. Angel has gotten better. Caitlin Clark is dealing with a lot of drama, but they're growing. They're growing. They're young players. They're going through stuff that young players go through, and that's exactly what it should be. Those guys were the ones, probably talking about the guys that were throwing dildos on the floor. Those guys were the ones who didn't even acknowledge the WNBA until they could use their love of Clark to hate on Reese.
Yeah.
I like Kyle's other comment. I like the other comment.
Drama is for short-term, talent is for long-term sustainability. 100% correct.
Let's not forget that dildos were thrown. Dildos were also thrown at the AFC wildcard game between Buffalo and New England. So it's not just women's sports. Personally, I don't think
those were actually an engagement present for Haley Steinfeld because of the fact that they know that Josh Allen doesn't have any balls. That was.
I'm done. I'm done.
There it goes over the fence. Wow.
I am a Tuesday until I got down.
It's about time Boston Red Sox won at something.
Okay, and then Carson Dakota Stewart said Tyler O'Neill is garbage. Please take him back to Boston. No. We have enough dog shit in our dugout right now. I'm good. I'm good. Hard pass. Hard pass. Like, don't give me here's the thing. If every single player in our dugout looked like Tyler O'Neill and had arms that big and were just hitting balls over the green monster, okay. But unfortunately, offensively, a lot of our players are playing like Tyler O'Neill, and that just doesn't do us any good because they don't even have the muscles to at least distract the female fans while they're shitting in the batter's box. Boston this is the thing that pisses me off, and I'm going to go on a rant here, and I'm sorry, guys, before we close out the show. Boston is defensively the best fucking team in baseball right now. The numbers show it. The best fucking team in baseball, and we are dog shit at the plate. If Boston had scored an average of 4 runs a game since the start of the season, 4 runs a game, 4, this many, 4 runs a game, Boston would have one of the top 5 records in baseball right now. 4. Like Erica, but one more. 4.
I can count to 4. Me!
And that's the part that pisses me off about what's
I
going
don't
on.
know why I show up to this show. It's just fucking abuse all the time. I can't get put into the intro. I get shit talked to me the whole time. I'm fucking over this horse shit.
You like it rough. Don't complain.
I do, damn it. I'm a glutton for punishment. Trevor Bauer.
Oh, God. All right. So before we wrap up, I'm going to give you guys a chance for any final thoughts. Erica, any final thoughts on your mind tonight?
I just put candy in my mouth.
That's what she
All right.
said.
Ando, any final thoughts tonight?
I think I'm going to get the crew started with our classic FRM, fuck Rob Manfred. Yeah. Mariners lost, but the Mariners are playing, I think, okay baseball. see if we can keep it going.
For those of you that are basketball fans, there's like 5 seconds left in game 4, and the Knicks are within 1 point after being down by a lot.
29.
So
Down by 29.
yeah, this is crazy. All right, Erica, now that you don't have something in your mouth for a change, any final thoughts?
Oh!
Well,
Don't be shy now.
why are you guys making me so embarrassed?
Hey, seven.
Ever
Seven,
coming
full
back?
screen
What
it.
is going on?
Full screen it. Full screen it.
Go ahead and share your final thoughts, Erica.
Oh my God. I fucking hate you guys. No, serious note. AUSL doesn't need the drama. Talent's there. Just watch it more. It's women's sports and they have nice asses. How do you not want to watch it? Come on.
There is a fleet of dump trucks on that field. I will absolutely confirm that.
There is.
Craig, any
I'll be
final
right
thoughts? Sure.
I think Ando just yeah.
I think the Knicks are going to win that game. That is crazy.
Yes.
Craig, any final thoughts, sir?
It's good to be back in the family. I hope that the softball team, the league, is successful. I want to be successful, but you got to hook me, and right now I'm not hooked. Sorry. I mean, there's too much going on in the Bay Area to try and find this league. Their PR has got to get better. And the Giants, any Giants fans out there, enjoy this last couple of weeks with the players, because we're going to see 6 of those players go bye-bye before the All-Star break.
So wait.
So, it was fun.
So Arias, Devers.
Yep.
You guys have Harrison Bader, right?
Yes.
Okay, Bader. I still stand by my prediction that Helio Ramos gets traded. I know you guys don't want to, but I think it's going to happen.
I do too.
Who else? Who else am I missing?
2 more. I can't think of names right now, and that's okay. They're not going to be here, so it's no energy needed for that one. Sorry.
Okay, where's your prediction for Devers?
I actually
Dodgers.
Fuck you, Craig.
I know my friends that are Braves fans, Brandon, I'm sure you're watching, are going to hate this. But I think he goes to Atlanta. I think that's where he's going to go. Matt Chapman's going to be one of the ones that's traded from the Giants as well.
Matt Chapman. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Devers goes to Atlanta. I think Luis Arias could end up in Boston.
Excuse me.
Boston's going to end up trading for a second baseman. It's either going to be Arias, Gleyber Torres, which I hope to God.
Excuse me. God damn.
Or who was the third one I was thinking of? Oh, Ketel Marte, because we're going to talk about it next week if this continues, but there's been some drama with Ketel Marte and the D-backs recently that I think bears some discussion, and I'm going to be kind of paying attention to that this week. And if it's still going next week, then we're gonna dive into it. But yeah, I definitely think Arias goes there. Chapman, a candidate for Boston, unless Caleb Durbin's had some recent positive movement. I could see that being a possibility, or they might move IKF there. Like, I don't know. If he doesn't go there, then Chapman's really been struggling. So he could be traded to somebody for prospects. And that's really it. That fire sale is going to be rough for Giants fans. Unfortunately.
No, it won't be. I'm looking forward to it because we're not going anywhere. Get rid of the dang salaries, bring up the kids, let's see what they got. And then plan after the strike and the shutdown for the upcoming next season in 2028.
Really quick for my basketball fans.
Oh
Knicks
my
did beat
God.
the Spurs 107-106.
Oh,
It is a 29-point
God.
deficit recovery.
1.2 seconds. Anunoby tipped in a missed shot, unblocked from the sideline where he inbounded that ball. Nobody stopped him from tipping that ball in.
That's crazy. He's been playing unreal in this series so far. They're role players, and that's why the Knicks are finding success. Is their role players are doing exactly what they're supposed to.
We will probably be talking about the Knicks as NBA champions on the Sports Report next week.
I think you're right. I happen to agree.
And did I call it? Knicks in 4 or 5. Knicks in 4 or 5.
I think it's going to be Game 6. I think it's going to be Monday night, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. My final thoughts for this evening. June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. This is a very important topic for me, for Ando, for Craig. Make sure the men in your life are getting the help that they need, getting the support that they need. Make sure that they know that it's okay to ask for help. It's not a weakness. It actually shows that you're strong enough to admit that you need some support. For those of you that have been around for a while, you'll know that a few years ago I created something called 30 Reasons to Live as part of my mental health podcast, First Generation Dad. 30 Reasons to Live is 30 reasons I'm glad I didn't take my life when I was suicidal, and music that helps me when I'm struggling. And I've had some inspiration. I'm writing a second round. And that my goal is to have that out by the end of June. I will have more information on that. But in the meantime, make sure the men in your life are taking care of themselves. If you're a man, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Your mental health does matter. You matter. You are loved. It's okay to reach out for support to the people around you that they want to be able to help you. You're not a burden. For my fantastic cast, myself, we appreciate you watching Podcast Name Deferred. We are a part of the Wire to Wire Sports Network. We are here every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. We love seeing the chat. We love seeing you in the we love seeing you in the comments and in the videos online. You can definitely make sure, if you haven't, you go to the Podcast Name Deferred Facebook page and follow it. You can check out the episodes on Spotify. We appreciate your support. We thank you for joining us on Podcast Name Deferred. Have a good night, everybody.